What you see here is our latest OPS player. It's the WB5100. It is built around a 35 watts TDP Haswell CPU. Actually, it's a very versatile system. It can not only drive a second screen because it has VGA and HDMI output, but it doesn't really need an OPS slot because on the back of the system there's also a power plug available. When using an OPS player has a couple of advantages. As you slide it into a monitor, you will always have space to mount it. And there's no need for an external power adapter, as the screen itself provides the power to the system. The OPS slot also takes care of the video signal, RS-232, USB, and so forth and so on, so a lot of the cabling is no longer needed. Just a piece of advice from me: if you ever install or have to swap one of those systems, please make sure that the monitor is disconnected from power before you do anything, otherwise you risk the chance of blowing up the hardware. These are all the specifications of this system. I'll just highlight a couple. It's 4K resolution capable. Well, it's built on a Haswell CPU, actually a Haswell refresh. It's actually a desktop CPU, but only it uses only 35 watts. Well, the CPU, that is. There's a mini card slot available. It's a half-size mini card slot. There is a 2.5-inch hard drive inside. There are a couple of additional features like watchdog timer and some other features I will come back to. Well, what you see here is the front of the unit with all the connections. I'll just go from left to right and name them all. On the left hand side you have the power switch, and next to that there's a reset switch. Then you've got VGA out, HDMI out. There's the power LED and an ACPI LED. Then we've got two USB 3 ports. We've got the network interface and two audio ports, which are a microphone in and audio out. And then just above those two ports you have, there are now really holes, but if you ever receive a new system they will be covered, and those are actually punch-out holes. Well, on the back of the system, well, I don't have a picture of that, there's the OPS slot and the power plug, which is a normal power plug which we also use on our digital engines. Well, let's have a look inside the system. Well, the first thing you see when you open up the system, which you basically never have to do, but this is just educational, you see on the right hand side the 2.5-inch hard drive, which is 7mm high, and on the left hand side you see our proprietary cooling solution, the heatsink with a 65mm fan. And if you go even deeper into the system, you would see first the CPU. Then we have the memory slots. There are two slots. In this case only one memory module, but you can enter two modules. Then we've got the half-size mini card slot, which you can use for Wi-Fi, for instance. Then we've got the OPS slot, and that was it. Just to summarize this system, you may have noticed that it is slightly larger than a normal OPS player. Well, this is done per design. By extending the housing just a little bit, we can ensure that our thermal solution will always get fresh outside air, meaning not from the monitor. And it doesn't even matter what the design of the monitor will allow you to, it will always get sort of fresh air. To make this thermal solution even more efficient, we've positioned all major components on one side of the PCB. So everything is cooled as efficient as possible. Well, just like our digital engine series, it includes features like real-time clock, wake-on real-time clock, automatic power after recovery, which means that if the power fails and it comes back on, the system will start up automatically, and of course our watchdog timer. Well, this OPS player has been tested in several different commercial OPS monitors, supporting both 4K and Full HD resolutions. Every test we threw at it, it passed without any problems.